Well, guys, once again, good evening. Welcome to our final exam. Remember that today we have the speaking part. So the idea is not to, let's say, waste time. I know that some of you are still like finishing probably just the final questions of your exam. But of course, we need to start. I'm gonna give you some information first. So as you already know, the first part requires you to answer some questions. As I had already told you, the idea is that when I arrive to the groups, you answer the questions there. So I will choose from this set of questions, two that you will be assigned. And you will have 40 seconds to answer each of those questions, okay? That is going to happen when you are in your groups. Then we would move to the second part. Remember that we had already arranged our groups. Remember that the number of the group doesn't have an impact in the order. Doesn't mean that I'm going to begin with number 1. And of course, I'm not going to finish with number 8. I will be choosing randomly, unless you call me. If you call me and I don't go to your group like immediately, is because probably I'm already on a different group. So in the moment that I finish with the group, sorry, I will go back to check to your group, the one that is calling me. Guys, these are let's say the topics. They are based, as you already know, on the different topics that we were studying during our cycle 4. There are 8 groups. That is why we have 8 different situations. Probably you will remember based on what we were studying on our different sessions. Just to refresh your memory, I'm gonna send them to the chat, for you to have them. Remember that depending on your number here, this number that we have in here is the situation that you have to, let's say, develop in here. Okay, so you don't get confused. I'm gonna give you some time to have a look at this slide. In the meantime, I'm going to take attendance. Saray Acevedo.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Cristian Albarracín.
Here, teacher.
Okay. Joelia Ayala.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Andrea Vaca. Not here. Okay, good. Gilbert Cárdenas. Okay, I hope that eventually your microphone is working, Gilbert. John Carrero. Not here for the moment. Stephanie Córdoba.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Silvia Durán.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Freddy Fonseca.
Yeah.
Okay. Judy Lizette Liscano.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Diana Lizette Lozada.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Daniela Lozada.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Andrea Juliana Muñoz.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. Natalie Joana Pérez.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. Mayra Juliet Pinzón.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Mayra Alejandra Plata.
Hi, teacher, here.
Very good. Harold Rodríguez.
Hi, teacher.
Okay, Harold, hello. Angelica Stephanie.
Hi, teacher.
There you are. Daniela Fernanda.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, Daniela. Ana María Velasco.
Hello, teacher. I'm here.
Very good. And Jennifer Jimena Vera.
Here, teacher.
Okay. And I saw Brian Cordero, right?
Right, I'm here.
Okay, very good. So the one that is missing for the moment is John. Okay, guys. So basically the idea, I'm gonna create the rooms, but in this case, you're going to choose, like you see the invitation, let's put it like that, and then you go to the room that corresponds to your number. I'm gonna give you first 10 minutes. Remember that in these 10 minutes, what you're going to do is to prepare this part, the part of the conversation, keeping in mind the parameters. The maximum will be 2 minutes. I will be using a timer. And remember that the group that finishes, then the group that finishes can leave the session. That would be it. Okay. I'm going to adjust it here that you can, of course, share your screen. And well, guys, I'm sure that this is going to be just perfect. Don't forget to download the image that I sent to the chat where you can see, let's say the situation that you have been assigned. Do you have any questions, guys?
No, teacher.
Okay, perfect, guys. Let's begin. Well, Mayra and Gilbert, what's the problem? Is there a problem?
No,
Actually, that's my
teacher.
question.
Teacher, because I am connected from my computer and from my phone.
Okay,
But
yes.
I'm already speaking with my
Okay.
I'm sorry, teacher.
Don't
I will
worry.
disconnect here.
No, I'm gonna send you to the group if you don't mind.
No, I will disconnect.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
teacher.
Mayra, don't worry. And Gilbert, what about you? The same?
Sorry, teacher, I was connecting my audio, okay?
No, I was going to ask if you had probably like a problem and you couldn't take part of the group that you belong to. That was my question, actually.
No, teacher, thank you. So I'm finished my exam, so that's the reason why.
Okay. I see. Okay. Okay, don't worry. Don't interrupt you anymore then.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Um, Good evening.
Hi, teacher.
How's everything? Oh my God, that looks great. And in 10 minutes. Nice, guys.
Thanks, teacher.
I know that you're pretty good, so this part wasn't going to be a problem for you. Well, guys, I'm going to share my screen
Okay.
so we can start with the first part. Remember that on this first part is going to be the individual part, you know, as the instruction says, you are going to have 40 seconds to answer, not like the 2 questions, of course. The idea is that 40 seconds per question, otherwise it would be like a good amount of time. I'm going to turn my camera on as well for this first part. I'm going to start with Christian. So let me set the timer. Well, it's already set, to be honest. Christian, I would like to start with question number 4. What situations make you feel competitive?
Right now, it's like only in the university, searching in the investigation group. But the problem is the people where I competing is from postgrad and doctorals and PhD, so it's not the same level, so it's not an easy way to compete, honestly. Nobody in degree is doing the same thing that I'm doing, so it's a little bit difficult.
Okay, but for the moment, Christian, eventually you will be on that same PhD level, of course. Well, then was about to finish. I would like to ask you also question number 10. Are you harsh or lenient?
Could you remember what is the meaning of harsh and lenient?
Would be like if you are or strict or laid back.
Depends. For certain things, I'm very harsh, and for others, I'm more lenient. For example, in terms on order and like organization, I'm very lenient because if I know where are the things, I don't have any problem if they are disorganized or something. And I only need to know where is that specific thing. But with other things, I'm very harsh because, for example, if something is very, very important, I need to organize them, like the data in the computer in a specific way to find them more quickly. Like putting a specific name about the content of certain document or something like that.
Okay, Christian, thank you very much. Well, Andrea, it's your turn.
Yes, teacher.
Let me see you. There you are.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to ask you question number 8. It says, what's the recipe for happiness?
Oh, teacher, difficult question to answer in Spanish. So I think that it depends for each person, but basically I think that all persons are happiness with their family, with friends, a good job. I think that maybe with pets, I'm happy with my pets. I'm feeling very happy with my pets. I think that is the basic, and other things, it depends that the type of the person. Yes, for example, a lot of money or.
I have to stop you, Andrea. Sorry, well, you don't know, but when the bell rings, I have to like cut your idea. But thank you. I would like to ask
it
you.
Depends. It depends.
Okay. I would like to ask you question 13. Do you think we can't change who we are?
I think that we are like we are, and this is yes. We are maybe we can change any little things. Depends maybe in the job, not be like very expressing or something. But I think that in general, we don't change who we are.
Okay.
Maybe in some specific case, but in general, no. Not for one person, not for for change the city in that we live, not for our parents, not for our boyfriend, not for, I think that no.
Okay, Andrea. Good timing. Well, guys, we're going to move to the next part where you're going to present your conversation. In your case, the conversation was a conversation which you talk about the last time you couldn't stop laughing. That was interesting to create. Well, guys,
Yes.
I'm going to turn my camera off, so it's your moment to shine. Let's start. 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Kristen.
Hi, Andrea.
How was your class? You tell me that you are in a new subject.
Was very good actually. He gave us the parameters of the class and started with the class, but I wasn't expecting so many people were um, in the signature.
Oh, so that what happened? Why?
Because the big majority of the people that now is in the class are working with biological stuff, but not in the same field that we in the class were of the subject of the class that we are seeing. So it's more related to other type of materials.
Oh, okay. And what happened? What they do?
When well, when we started the class and in some point the professor asks to us to define certain values for calculate some kind of energies. And the problem, and that was a little funny because a big part of the class weren't able to do anything, any kind of calculation, do any kind
So sad.
of integral or something like that. And we started to laugh with the professor because that was a little funny because that is a little irrational because it's not a bad class. They're supposed that you already have many of that knowledge with you, even if it's not a your area.
In what university do you study?
En en Universidad Industrial de Santander.
Oh, okay, me too. I think the teachers here are okay. I think
Very
if
weird.
I think if I were in your place, I would have done the same. Actually, the last time that I laughed a lot of, was one day when I had studied a lot, for an exam, and the teacher asked some very difficult questions, very difficult. We had studied a lot with my classmates, and
Time's
instead,
up.
and instead of okay.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Well, it's pretty clear that you have a really good level and actually you could continue a conversation as much as possible. Let's talk about like very general aspects of feedback because unfortunately, because of, let's say, the nature of this course, we don't have like a feedback session. Christian, you said that from the first questions, if I know where there are the things, remember that this is like a statement inside a question. So it would be, if I know where the things are. Okay, because it is like a statement inside a question. You said a signature, probably talking about subject, according to the context, that's what you meant, right? And you were talking about, well, the study, like you said, okay, that for calculate, to calculate, not for. Okay. And Andrea, you said it depends for each person. The collocation that is a fixed expression will be, it depends on. The preposition is on
Okay.
instead of for. You know,
Okay.
the pronunciation of basic, you said basic. And you said not very expressing. No, that was
Expressive. Okay.
Expressive, that's what you meant, right? Good. And the pronunciation of laughed. You said
Loud.
laughed or something like that.
Loud.
That would be
Okay.
it. Very good. Well, guys, the idea is to give the grades to Daniela as much, like as fast as possible. So you have the information to start on Tuesday. So for you guys, this is all. Okay.
Okay, teacher, thanks.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye, Christian.
Bye, Andrea.
Good evening, guys. How are you?
Hello, teacher.
How's everything? You finished. I mean, you are ready, right?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Finished.
Okay. Great. I'm going to share my screen. And I was with another group. That's the reason why it took me some minutes to come here. Just to let you know. There it is. Okay, guys, just like to refresh your memory on the first part, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, like for every single one of you. You will have 40 seconds. I'm going to set up the timer, and then we will move to the next part where you have to create your conversation. There it is. So I'm going to start with Brian, okay? Brian,
Tell me, teacher.
I need you to turn your camera on.
Okay. I'm joining now.
Okay. Okay, Brian. I'm going to start with question number 3. Describe the characteristics of a good friend. 40 seconds.
First, the a good friends have them have to uh, a good friend is a person who can help you in a moment when you need. Yes. A good person could be sympathetic, polite, loyalty, and also he also he has to be a funny person, a person that gives you funny um reasons
Well,
to improve your skills.
okay. Let's move to question number 9. Talk about your latest mishap. Something very fast to describe, you know?
Mishap. What's the meaning of mishap, teacher?
Mishap, we said that is a kind of problem.
Okay. Maybe on this week I have to send two projects at the same time, and I didn't have the enough time to develop them. Um, I I I was I was working all the night. I could not sleep, but finally I got it.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, that was all for Brian in the first part. Gilbert, you go next, please. Let me
Okay, teacher. So
turn your
let me.
camera. There you are. Okay, good. Gilbert, I'm going to start with question number 7. What annoys you or makes you angry?
Okay, there is one thing that I really think that annoys me. I mean, I think that is like frustration, but at the same time annoys me is that when I try to learn something new by myself and I don't understand it. So it makes me feel a little bit annoys me. And also when I have to read some papers or like scientific papers, research, and they use a lot of technical language that is a little bit difficult to understand. So I think that maybe the scientific could write in another way to be more access to them to the or person that don't have a lot of or deep
I'm sad.
knowledge.
Okay, Gilbert, I had to interrupt you. I forgot to put the question mark in here. Let's have a look at question number 11. Have you gotten stuck in traffic and missed an appointment?
Okay, so the most common thing that happened me in a stuck traffic is when I when I go to university. So sometimes I take the bus or the metro linea, but it's so with a lot of people, so they take a lot of time to take one. But sometimes I arrive late to the university, and for that reason. But another important things related with traffic, and that I missed it uh, until today. No.
Okay, Gilbert, thank you very much. Well, now, John, it is your turn. Okay, John, there you are. John, I would like to start with question number 5. Is it true that money, has no impact in our happiness? Why not? John, I can't hear you. Now I do. Okay.
Sorry, I need to take off my earphones.
Okay.
Can you hear me much better?
Yeah. Very sound now.
Okay, perfect. So, well, that's a difficult question, because sometimes money can give you some moments that can make you happy, right? But money is not the base of the happiness, or is not the first place of the happiness. You can have money and you can be sad and you can be depressed, or you can be a depressive person at the same time. And also you cannot have money, but you can be happy, because the happiness is to be thankfully with everything you have. It doesn't
Okay.
matter if it's great or it's not.
Okay, John, very good. I'm gonna move to question number 10. Like in very general aspects, are you harsh or lenient?
I'm very lenient, but sometimes it is necessary to be harsh. I think that depends on the situation and in the moment that you are going through, right? Because sometimes, for example, right now I'm in a moment when I need to be harsh with my decision, to be determined, to be determined with my decision, with everything that I have planned for myself. But sometimes with some people you have to be lenient in some aspects, so you need to evaluate before you make a decision of being harsh or being lenient. That depends of the
Okay.
situation.
Very good, John. Thank you very much. Well, guys, let's move to the part of collaborative work. Your group number 5. Your situation says, talk about how to be sympathetic when a person is sharing a difficult moment in their lives. Okay. Well, guys, I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to set up the timer. Remember that you have up to 2 minutes to share all the information that you have created. Let me see your cameras. I see John, I see Brian, and I don't see Gilbert yet. Now, Gilbert, there you are. Okay, guys, let's begin.
Okay, there are some tips to be more sympathetic. But the first step, you have to identify the situation and how it affects the emotional condition of the person. You might know that there are levels of emotional pain and you have to face in everything in a special way.
Well, I dare to say that also we have to listen to the person in order to let him or her know that you are interested in that situation that she or he is going through, and that you are willing to help them, right? All the things that they are saying are very important, and you have to be careful to let them know.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We
Okay,
can hear you.
so as my partner mentioned before, we have to like active listening in order to help, and also we have to take in account all the details that they are telling us. It's important also because it could be starting the point to give your help. So that is basically the process of hear them is so important in order to give them like a solution or like an advice in order to help you.
Another important thing is to recognize that people react in different way to facts depending of their personality or the situation or his education or his economy.
Totally. So everyone is completely different, and we have to know that they can have different perception of the reality of the life, and you have to
Well, I
know
have
that
to
some.
stop you. Okay, guys,
Go ahead.
sorry. Well, the good thing is that
No
the
worries.
three of you had the opportunity like to share the ideas. It was good as usual. Guys, just to maybe clarify certain aspects, more like in terms of pronunciation. And learn, Brian, you said like clear, but from the context, I got that you were meaning learn, you know? You said people should be loyalty instead of loyal. That's the word. Gilbert, you said that happened to me, that happened to me, okay? And you said we have to active listening. Probably you mean we have to work on active listening, or we have to have,
Listen actively.
Yeah,
Listen
or we have to be
have
active
active
listeners,
listening.
something like that. And you say to give they, to give them, okay?
Yes.
Well, in the case of
Sorry.
John, nothing to say. Well, guys,
Thank
hopefully we can give you the grace as soon as possible so you can have the information before we start on Tuesday. Okay, so guys, that's all for tonight. Thank you very much. As
Okay,
usual.
Okay.
have a good
Bye.
one.
Bye-bye,
Bye
teacher.
bye.
Enjoy your
Take care.
weekend.
See you.
Take
You
care.
too. Bye.
Teacher,
Yes, tell me.
we finished the cycle today, and when we will return
We'll return on Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay,
That would be it.
great.
Bye.
Bye.
Temprano.
Here.
Hi, teacher.
Hi,
Hi,
guys.
teacher.
How's everything?
Everything is
We are
good.
good.
Yes,
Thank you for
teacher.
asking.
How are you?
That's the attitude. Doing great. Enjoying
Mhm.
this hot night. This weather is the worst. Way
Mhm.
too hot. I mean, no,
Yes,
that's not
teacher. I
Bucaramanga.
totally agree.
I'm totally
I
disappointed with
couldn't
my city.
believe that. Yes.
Like,
Yes,
okay.
Sorry
teacher.
for my face, but I am a little bit sick today.
Oh, Harold, that's terrible.
Mhm.
You got the
I
flu?
guess that maybe I will have cold.
Hopefully it's
I
just
don't
a
know.
cold, you know?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, guys, let's begin with the first part that is going to be the individual part. So, Jennifer, you will be the first. Okay.
Teacher.
Whether whether you are or not, I would like to ask you, what are the advantages of being an only child? Remember that you have 40 seconds.
Okay. The advantages of being an only child in a family is that you can receive more attention from other members of the family, your relatives,
for example, of your grandmother, of your grandfather, could could be more patient, could be more care care careful, or being the most important member in the family.
Okay.
Because
Well, I have to
it's
stop you, Jennifer, you know.
okay.
Okay, I was also having a look here that I had a mistake. Let me ask you also question number 4, Jennifer. What situations make you feel competitive?
Okay. In not there aren't many situations that I feel in that way, but when I was a child, I used to be competitive when I was playing with my neighbors, because every month we change uh, the games that we used to play. For example, a month we prefer riding our bikes, or in other occasions maybe we started
I have to stop you, Jennifer.
Okay.
Thank you. That's okay.
Okay, teacher.
Let's continue with Stephanie. I can already see you. Stephanie, let's begin with question number 5. It says, is it true that money has no impact in our happiness? Why not?
I think that the money impact in our happiness is not the more important, but it's very important. But because with the money we buy the food, we buy the accommodations, and the money don't buy the happiness, but it's important for live and for entertaining and spend time with your family, and I don't know. It's not the more
Okay.
important, but yes.
Thank you, Stephanie. And I would like to ask you question number 12. From your perspective, which mental skill is predominant for you? You remember the other day that we were having like a kind of ranking? So for you, which is the predominant one?
For me, it's the maths intelligence. I don't know, and I am very good in the with the numbers and the logical maths, and I studied in engineering because I was good in the school on maths, chemical, and physics, and I like, and I am good in that.
Okay, very good. Let's move to Harold now. The coordinator is sending a message. Let me check it quickly. Okay. Well, Harold, I'm gonna start with question number 3. What describe the characteristics of a good friend?
Okay, teacher. I guess that maybe a good friend have to be loyal, honest, has to tell us something that we may wrong, because I think that this is the word that friend have to make in us.
Okay. And I would like to ask you question number 10. Are you harsh or lenient?
Teacher, it's a difficult question. I think that I can be both of them, but it's depend of the situation. I guess that maybe everyone deserve a second opportunity, but they are cases that we can be allowed, and that people has a second One, because this is a tricky situation. For that, in that cases, I will be harsh, but usually I try to be lenient.
Okay. Very good, guys. Let's move now to the part where you share the situation. Group number 1. It says, steer a conversation where they talk about how technology and happiness are related, periods. You know what happens? I was dictating the question and I should have checked. That was embarrassing, but that's life. Well, guys, I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to turn the microphone off. Remember that you will have up to 2 minutes for the conversation, and similar to the previous exercise, when you listen the ringing, you have to stop, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Guys,
Okay,
let's
teacher.
start.
Hello, guys. I want to show you something that I have been reading in the last few days.
Oh, that sounds great, Stephanie. Could you tell us more about that?
Let me guess. Is this about politics?
No, really, Harold. In fact, it is about how time has changed due to the influence of technology. The article says that nowadays people spend a lot of time on social networks instead of sharing time in the real world.
I totally agree. It's common that people prefer typing messages to their loved ones or friends instead of seeing each other. So technology makes everything worse from my point of view, of course.
Okay, I can understand your idea, but I also think that we can take advantage of technology, for example, for doing a lot of daily things. For example, it's easier to find information on internet, and for that reason, I can have more time to spend with my family.
Oh yeah, it is true, Harold. What's more, we realize after the pandemic that these technological tools are even more necessary than before.
That's a good point of view. During that time, we started to use Zoom, for example, and mainly for education and for other things.
Okay, but I also think that we can use and that for getting closer to our families and friends. It's allowed me not to feel sad, lonely, or depressed in the pandemic. I guess that it's made me feel happier in that time.
Exactly, technology is not as bad as some people think.
Yes, it's depend on how you use it.
Yes, but time must be balanced.
Okay, thank you very much. Very good. Well,
Okay,
guys, like
teacher.
a very quick feedback, of course, because of time, you already know the drill. Stephanie, you say the money impact. Money, because it's considered like an uncountable concept, would be like third person. So money impacts, okay? And also, and you said money don't buy on the same line, you know, to keep the alignment, doesn't buy. Yeah, because as I told you, in terms of grammar, it belongs to that family. You said it's important for live. It's important like to live, not for. The 4 and 2 I've seen like, not only in your case, of course, but it's like a situation to be clarified with you guys. And you said, I am very good with. Usually the combination is I'm very good at whatever topic you are talking about. Okay. Harold, everyone also is considered third person in grammar. So everyone deserves, when I was asking you were harsh or lenient. And then you said people has, people is plural. We, in that case, we use have, okay? And then you said in that cases, well, I know that when we're speaking fast, sometimes we forget like that idea. Will be in those cases because you are talking about different aspects. And Jennifer, nothing to say. Well, guys, the idea is to start on Tuesday. So hopefully we can send you the grades as soon as possible so you can have that information. And that would be it.
Okay, teacher.
See you on
Thank you.
Tuesday,
Thanks,
guys.
teacher.
Okay, teacher,
Bye.
thank you for
Thanks,
your time. Bye.
bye.
Take care,
Bye.
guys.
Ciao.
Bye, girls. Ciao.
Bye, Harold.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening, teacher.
How's everything? You had called me, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay, yeah, I was with another group and then another group called me and I was like, which was the group that called me first? So it was a good thing that I didn't make a mistake. So we are in group number 8. Well, guys, probably to give a little context to Freddy, but I'm sure that you already did. At the first part, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Well, to be precise, you know, I have my timer. So when the, let's say, alarm rings, that means that you have to stop. That is the idea, basically. And then we move like with all the questions, and then we move to the speaking part. That is the collaborative one, because this is already the speaking part. When we finish this, that's all for tonight, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, guys, I'm going to start with Frey, so I'm going to ask you to turn your camera off. I mean, on. I'm tired and it is hot. I'm making mistakes.
Okay.
Okay, Frey, there you are. I would like to ask you, first of all, question number 4.
Number
It
4.
says, what situations make you feel competitive? 40 seconds, Frey.
When at this point of my life, something that makes me feel competitive is maybe at work, because I want to do things very perfect. I want to give the best of myself when I'm working, and sometimes when I see that someone is doing something better than I did, it gets me like, like I want to be better or give more of myself for that. So yeah, in that situation is when I want to be a very competitive person, just to improve my skills, and not because I want to be selfish or maybe have like the bad energy or bias for other people. It's
Okay.
just in a positive way.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you question number 7. What annoys you or makes you angry?
Maybe if I'm trying to study or prepare an exam and someone is being like really loud uh, around in the place where I'm just trying to focus myself of what I'm gonna do. Because it is really frustrating that you're trying to write something or memorize, and someone is just playing music real loud and doesn't turn the volume down. So it annoys me the most.
I totally agree with you, Ray. Thank you very much. Let's
Thanks.
continue with Mayra. Mayra with the code 2200389. Mayra Pinzon. I have the 2 Mayras in here. Well, I have a mistake in my question. What happened to me? It's not an excuse. Well, Mayra, let me see you.
Yes.
There you are, Mayra. I would like to ask you question number 2, whether you are only child or not. Are you competitive with your siblings? If so, give examples.
Well, at this moment, I think we are not competitive with my brother. However, when we are child, we fight because of some things, like for example, doing some housework or maybe like that, or I don't know, with buy some thing or food sometimes.
Well, I have to
So
stop you, Mayra.
okay.
Okay. I would like to ask you question number 13. It says, do you think we can't change who we are?
Well, it's a difficult question, but I think or I consider that No, I think we can change the way that we are. For example, some abilities we can learn, and for example, some people uh, doing that we can change our behavior. So I think we can change. Yeah, teacher.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mayra Pinzon. Let's
Okay.
move now to Mayra Plata. There you are.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, Mayra. Mayra, I would like to ask you question number 3. Describe the characteristics of a good friend.
Okay, for me, a good friend is someone who always support you, is unconditional in your life, respectful, and honestly, and loyalty is always a good characteristic too.
Okay. Let me ask you question number 9. Of course, as summarized as possible. Talk about your latest meetup.
I have meet up every morning. A meet up.
Okay.
And not
Okay.
late for job. I'm trying to wake up really early every morning, but I don't know what happened with my body because I cannot sleep in the night. So I'm trying to have like a different routine to go to bed, but it's really hard for me. I don't know why. I'm reading and taking a shower and doing everything that all the books recommend and everybody on Instagram recommend, but I'm always late to my job, like 15-20 minutes late because I wake up an hour and a half late always. I don't know what happened because I used to be really punctual, and that's a terrible mishap because I'm going to have like problems if this continues happening.
That's true. Well, guys, thank you, Mayra. Let's move to the next part. In your case, you were in charge of situation 8. Student role-play conversation where they talk about their views on the nature-nurture debate in terms of children and toys. Actually, you got a very sensitive topic, guys.
A very difficult one, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I always put them at random and I was like, okay, poor
Yeah, it
group
was very
8.
tricky,
But
yeah.
you're pretty good, so I'm sure that it was easy for you to manage. Okay, I'm going to turn my camera off, my microphone as well. Similar to the previous activity. Well, you're going to have 2 minutes. The thing is that once again, when you listen this ringing, that means that you have to stop. Well, guys, let's begin.
Okay. Hi, Freddy. Do you think that toys should be stereotyped by gender? Freddy, estás hablando with the
Sorry.
micro.
Hi, Mayra Pinson, thank you. I think
Hello,
that it is a tricky question. Hello. Because sometimes I have seen many cases where kids are playing in a playground with different kind of toys, and they start playing with them regardless of the gender. They choose the toy because of the shade or the color. So
yeah.
it doesn't depend on that. And I want to share like an example here. I have 2 cousins. One of them is a male and the other is a female. The male one was always, he used to watch like my other cousin playing with dolls, and he said that he wanted the Barbies because of the color, because they were very fresh and colorful. And my aunt used to freak out because she thought that he was going to be girly or his sexual orientation was going to change, but it didn't happen in the end. He was
Okay.
he's been like a manly boy. So I think that it is not like toys should not be stereotype gender. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is really interesting. I wanna ask a question to Mayra Plata. So
Okay.
given the recent declarations on gender, do you think toys will finally be rid of stereotypes?
Well, I hope so. And I think that it's a huge possibility because in the past years, I think that we are not described anymore like female or male. We are described more like persons and human beings, and we start to stop to think what is correct for a guy or for a girl, even in the clothes, the toys, and many other stuff. So I think it's a possibility in the future we stop thinking that it's a stereotype gender, the election of the toys. But I was thinking, I don't know, probably Mayra can answer this question. I was thinking that the election of a toy depends of nature or nurture. I don't know, what do you think? Because I'm always confused about.
Well, I think it's a difficult question and maybe it could be confused. However, I consider, or in my opinion, parents' influence in the election of a toy. For example, when we are babies or when they are babies, parents choose which toy have to
Well,
use or
Mayra, I have to
play.
stop you.
So,
I'm
yeah.
really sorry.
Okay.
Okay, guys, thank you. Actually, 2 minutes go really fast. It is a
Yes.
very tricky amount of time. You think, oh no, that is so long. 2 minutes is like
Really
this.
fast, yeah.
So it's a really hard. We practice, but I think that it has like a lot of material to speak about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like trying to
Yeah.
summarize a very sensitive topic is not easy. That's the reality. But somehow
Yes,
you
it is.
managed to convey some of your ideas. I'm sure that you had like very interesting things to add, but I have to finish. I'm gonna give you like a very quick feedback because I have also other 4 groups. That means like 40 minutes left. Well, Fred, you said I wanna do things very perfect. That would be very like because of the adverb, because of the action that you want to do, we need the adverb like perfectly. And maybe
Okay,
we
perfect.
eliminate the very, so it doesn't sound like, let's say, like redundant in that case. But that was just one thing. Mayra Pinzon, you said when we are child, when you were talking about how competitive you were with your brother, will be when we were children, because 1, 2, right? Or I don't know how many more you have. You said some people doing that. I guess that you meant some people are doing that in the question 13. And Mayra Plata, and we're talking about the characteristics of good friend. Words like everyone, everybody, someone, somebody in grammar are considered third person. And you said someone who always, and you said the verb without the S. We had to put the S, okay? Someone who's always, whatever you mean.
Okay, thank you.
And the pronunciation when you were talking about your mission, punctual. And you said, I don't know what happened in the night. I don't know what happens at night. Night is the only one that doesn't go with in the compared to in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. The only one that is different will be at night. Okay. And that would be it. Guys, remember that on Tuesday we begin the final cycle of B1. So Daniela and I will be like feeding the information in the Sistema Académico as soon as possible. Okay. That will be all for tonight, guys.
Okay.
Thank you very much. See you on
Good night,
Tuesday.
teacher.
Bye.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
You too. Take care, guys. Good evening, ladies. I'm finally here. How are you?
Fine, you.
Running as usual. Like these crazy days of speaking exams. Well, I'm sorry to keep you waiting, but when I sent that I was going to visit group number 1, then groups also called me and you were the next one. So that's the reason why it took me some time. So don't think that I was ignoring you. Not at all. And well, because of turns, well, that was what happened.
Don't bother, teacher. We understand.
Thank you. Okay, let me refresh your memory on this first part. The idea is to answer a few questions. I choose the questions and you have 40 seconds for each question that I ask you. For this part, you also have to turn your camera off. You have to stop when you hear the alarm ringing, okay? I check your silence as an okay.
Okay,
So
teacher.
you can move on. Good. Let me start with Joely. So Joely, please turn your camera on. There you are. I don't know if I can hear you.
Yeah.
Eso. Okay, Joely, whether you are or not, I'm gonna ask you question number 1. It says, what are the advantages of being an only child? 40 seconds, go.
I think that, sorry, I didn't.
Breathe, Joely. I'm going to set the timer again and I'm going to read the question again. What are the advantages of being an only child? Go.
I think that is like like sorry, like
Well, maybe Joely, I'm going to start with someone else, okay? If you don't
okay.
mind. While you like put yourself together. So Daniela Fernandez, if you don't mind, let me start with you. So we can give some time, Joely, to have a moment to feel better. Let me.
Okay.
Ay, en esa cosita. Listo. There you are, Daniela. Let me ask you then question number 3. Would be the characteristics of a good friend. What do you think?
Okay. For me, a good friend is someone that supports you in difficult and in a good situation. Or also, you felt your state, your her their companies near to you.
Okay. I would like to ask you question number 13.
13, do you think we can change who we are?
Mm-hmm.
Actually not. I think that we born in a way because genetics, our parents, and all of things, but in our experience, we can change and we can develop behaviors to be better person. And this is I think that is necessary, it's a mandatory.
Okay. Daniela, thank you very much. Let's continue with Natalie, okay? Natalie, there you are. I'm gonna ask you question number 4. First, what situations make you feel competitive? Your microphone is off. Natalie.
Sorry, teacher.
Okay.
Okay, situation that make me competitive. I think when I understand something, like in the university, an assignment or an exam, I think that I could do everything. So I think so competitive, and I get more confidence. And when I feel when I feel like that, I can do everything and I can work because my career it's only boys and not much girls. So you need to stay in the high part and say, okay, I'm here and I understand and I can do it too. So that is.
Okay, Natalie, very good. I would like to ask you also question number 10. Are you harsh or lenient?
Harsh or lenient? Teacher, can I know the meaning of one of that?
Harsh would be like very strict, lenient, more like laid back.
Okay, absolutely harsh. I prefer to do everything in the moment that I can do it, and not try to postpone, because when I postpone things, and I do everything on the late time, I always have anxiety, and and I feel so bad, and I'm trying to say, oh my God, why I don't do that in the moment correct, and in the correct moment.
Mhm.
And so for that, I think it's harsh, everything.
Okay. Natalie, thank you. Well, Joely, I hope that you feel better now. Okay, so once again, question number 1. What are the advantages of being an only child?
Okay, I think that maybe a child receive more love. Maybe they don't think about the yesterday, like what we gonna eat, what we gonna do, what it is like being just be, yeah, like it's only uh, we are they only preoccupied about uh, uh, be happy, and that's
Okay. And I would like to ask you also question I had already, let me make sure that I don't repeat it. Number 6. Joely, what things in your life make you feel good?
but like something that I do or something extra.
Whatever
Okay,
you prefer.
maybe I feel good with my boyfriend when we go out, and also when I in my room. I like my space, like when no one is in my room and I am alone. I like this moment. It's like so relaxed, and I can be and also like uh, make me feel good, listen to music, or maybe some movie by myself, like watching by myself, and that kind of thing.
Okay, good timing, Joely. Well, ladies, let's move to the final part. You were group number 6, which means that your conversation is about a recent legal case with a controversial outcome. Well, you didn't have it. You didn't have it easily, of course, but I'm sure that you managed to do it as well. Let me clarify that these cases are assigned at random. It is not like I see the group and then I choose the situation. They are just assigned, and that's how it ends up. I'm going to turn my camera off as well as my microphone. Remember that you have 2 minutes. Once again, the moment that you hear the alarm, that means that you have to stop. Okay, well, let's start, ladies. Natalie, don't forget to turn your camera on, please.
Yes,
There you go. Mhm.
Hi, girls. How are you?
Good,
Hi.
good, but I I haven't stopped to think about a particular case.
What case are you talking about?
Yes, tell us.
Have you listened about Nicaragua hate?
Oh my God, yes, I do it.
What jails are you talking about?
Okay, government of Nicaragua decided to put a lot of presidiaries at a new jail, and then it's more like 200 people there.
Oh my God, it's a lot of people, but I can't believe that this won't be enough.
I think the same of Daniela. Take Colombia for example. Jails aren't able to have more people than they already have.
You're right, nowadays the jails in Colombia are crowded.
But what really matters would be investing in education.
You are right. That could be a real solutions.
Yeah, I agree too.
Well, guys, I need to go. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. But one thing, it's not Nicaragua, it's El Salvador, right?
Ah, es El Salvador, sí.
It's in Nicaragua, I was like,
Pero se entendió la idea.
Nicaragua too?
You understand the idea. That is important. That really,
Okay.
that really matters.
Yeah, let's see the silver lining of the situation. Okay, ladies, let's just go back to the individual part because I still have 3 groups left. Daniela, you said someone that support, someone because of the grammar, it supports, okay?
Support.
Someone, somebody, everyone, everybody is considered in grammar third person.
Ah,
It
okay.
supports, that's the reason why.
Someone that supports.
Supports,
Supports.
exactly. And in question 13, you say we born in a way, we are born.
We are
Or we
born.
were born.
We
if
were.
you want to talk about in past. Good.
We were born. Okay.
That would be it. The case of Natalie, you said, I feel you were struggling like between confidence, and then you said, when I feel like that way, that was like a way to try to solve it. But you mean when I feel confident, you know?
Ah, okay. Yes, teacher, I forget that word and I don't know how can I do
But you managed like to convey
Like,
meaning, and that was a good thing. Like in the that way, I was like, okay, and it was good. And well, remember that girls is countable when you were talking about that in your career there are more men than women, and you said not much girls, so it would be not many, because much is uncountable, and you can say there are 3 girls in a class. Okay, that would be it. In your case, Natalie. And Joely, the third person as well, is that a child receives, once again, because we're talking about one person. You said, I haven't, in the conversation, in this part, you said, I haven't stopped to think. Stop is a very restrictive verb compared probably to like or love. You can say, I love to play or I love playing, and it's exactly the same. Stop changes the meaning if it is to or ing. If you said, I haven't stopped thinking, it's because it's an idea that continues, let's say, that appears continuously in your mind. But if you say, stop to think, that means that you were having an idea, just stop that idea to start thinking about something else. In your case, because you were talking about the situation in El Salvador, would be, I haven't stopped thinking. Not to think, okay? To mean that idea like pop-ups in your mind the whole time, okay? And I wrote Nicaragua, El Salvador. That would be it. Ladies, hopefully during the weekend or on Monday, you will see your grades so we can start our final cycle of B1 on Tuesday, okay? And that
Bye.
will be
Thank you, teacher.
good weekend. Bye.
Teacher, what about our notes?
The grades, Daniela, would be,
grades,
I hope on Monday, because you know how the academic system is. Hopefully, if we can upload them before, would be great. But at least on Monday.
Okay. Okay, teacher.
Today, not tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm so tired. No, tomorrow we'll go do it.
Okay, teacher. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, Yoli.
I leave.
Ciao.
Good evening, ladies. Ajá. Le tomaron foto a las preguntas. How are you?
Hello, teacher.
I'm sorry for keeping you waiting. You know how crazy this is? Well, but
No problem, teacher.
great. Let me share my screen. Well, I'm sharing the slide for the second part, but you know that we always start with the first part. I'm gonna ask you 2 questions each. You have 40 seconds to answer each question. You know, when you hear the alarm, that means that you have to stop or I have to interrupt you. Well, that would be more like on that way, okay? So I'm going to start with Ana Maria.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, Anna. Let me see you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Let me connect my camera. Sorry.
That's okay. No te preocupes, no.
Now you can.
There you are. And I will summarizing as much as possible. I'm going to start with question 11. Have you gotten stuck in traffic and missed an appointment?
Yes, many times. I'm not maybe I'm not with I'm not good organizing my time. So in many times I have an appointment and I need to, I don't know, maybe I used to be live in Bucaramanga. So now I live in Lebrija, so it's so hard. It's more it's more hard now than before because the distance is too long. So yes, now I am more awake. I am awake about my time. I think I am improved this, but yes, obviously, in many times I get stuck in a traffic, and
Well, and I have to stop you. It's already ringing. Let me ask you also question number 5, Anna. Is it true that money has no impact in our happiness? Why? Why not?
I think it's a important factor. Maybe it's not. It's important factor in our life, money, but it's not all. There's no give us happiness. I think maybe one day I want to be that person that says that money doesn't give you happiness, but I think it's important, but there are other factors that maybe help or maybe your family or something like that. I think it's more important than money. But
Okay, I have to stop you. Voy a ponerle volumen a esto. Okay. Thank you, Anna. Sarai, is your turn? Okay, Sarai, there you are. I'm gonna ask you first question number 4. What situations make you feel competitive? Your microphone is off.
In normal situation, because I don't consider it a competitive person, but when we're talking about money, I think that I feel competitive.
Okay. Let me ask you also question number 13. It says, do you think we can't change who we are?
I think that we can change who we are. Personally, I changed recently because I was in a depression, and then I start to read a book, and that book changed my mind and my entire life. So when we can change, we can do it.
Okay, very good. Well, let's move to the final part. Group number 3, they talk about circumstances. A judge has to be harsh or lenient. Remember that you have 2 minutes. Once again, probably if you take more time than the expected, I would have to interrupt you. I'm going to turn my camera off, the microphone off. So ladies, let's start.
Okay. Hi, Anna. How are you doing today?
Hi, Sarai. I'm good. Thanks for us. How about you?
I'm doing well. Hey, I wanted to ask you something. What do you think are the circumstances where a judge should be harsh or lenient?
That's a good question. I think that should be lenient when it's a first time made a crime. Maybe the defendant is the first time the defendant and the crime is not too serious, but in cases when the crime is several and the offender has a prior criminal history, the judge should be harsh. And how about you?
I think that depends of the circumstance. The judge should take into consideration the offender remorse and action they've taken to make things right. In those circumstances, the judge may be more lenient.
It's a good point, but what about when there are external factors that may him commit the crime, such mental illness?
In those situations, the judge should take those factors into account when determining the sentence. They may be more lenient if the offender was in a difficult situation that may have led them to commit the crime.
Definitely, being a judge is not an easy job. They have to balance the interests of the victims and offenders and also society as a whole. It's a tough job, but it's an important one.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Anna.
No problem. Always happy to discuss with you.
Okay. Good timing. Thank you very much. Well, let's quickly have a look at some few aspects. And I just said it's more hard because it's a short adjective would be it is harder. Yeah. You say then, well, in the conversation, well, like just to wrap up with you, you said thanks for ask will be thanks for asking. Okay. And Sarah, you said not much situations, not many situations, because we can count the situations, right? Will be like that. Well, ladies, I know that tonight you had to work, you too, because Andres, well, had decided to not to continue because of job and things. But it wasn't a problem for you, I hope, right? Hopefully, tomorrow and during the weekend, Daniela and I will be uploading the grades, so you have the information to start on Tuesday, which would be the final cycle of B1. Okay, ladies?
Okay, teacher.
Thank you. Good weekend.
Thank
Bye.
you. Good weekend.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Good evening, ladies.
Hi, teacher.
I'm finally here. How are you?
Fine.
It's hard. It always is. But okay, I'm here. Not yet, not yet. Okay, remember that we start with individual questions. You have 40 seconds to answer each question. When time's up or probably you hear the alarm, probably the sound is not that loud. Otherwise, I would just interrupt you, okay? Well, let's start. Sylvia, I'm going to start with you. So while you turn your camera on, I write down here your name, highlight the number here. Is Sylvia here?
Yes.
Like, Sylvia, call her, we're back. There you are. Okay, Sylvia, whether you are one or not, I'm going to ask you question number one. What are the advantages of being an only child? 40 seconds.
I think that the advantage of being an only child are like having more attention from the parents. They are, I don't know, a little more special with the a only child and all the attention is focused on one person in the family. So I think this is the most important advantage.
Okay. Sylvia, I'm going to ask you also question number 8. What's the recipe for happiness?
I think that is not take anything personally. Live each day and each moment as is were the last one, and not think about the future all the time and focus on the present. I think is the recipe for the happiness.
Okay, Sylvia, thank you very much. Let me continue with Diana Lozada. There you are, Diana. Hello.
Hello, teacher.
Diana, let's begin with question number 3. Describe the characteristics of a good friend.
Well, I think that the most important characteristics of a good friend is that they could be a good listener and also a reliable person. I think that there are the most important characteristic, and I found it on my 2 best friends.
Okay, great. Let me ask you question 13. Do you think, 13, do you think we can't change who we are?
No, I definitely think that actually we can. We every day are learning new things. They provide us ways to be a better person for the society.
Okay. And Daniela, now it's your turn. There you are. Hello. Daniela, let me ask you question number 5. Is it true that money has no impact in our happiness? Why or why not?
Well, I think that is false because I think that you need to have at least the money, the enough money to have what you need. For example, you need to have money to to eat, to buy clothes and have your home. It are things that you need to be happy, I think.
Okay. And we finish this part, Daniela, with question number 10. Are you harsh or lenient?
I think that I'm a lenient person because I always want the better for the other person. I'm a person, a kind person. I'm very passionate. I'm very kind with other people.
Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you, Daniela. We're going to move to the final part, finally. Okay, ladies, in your case, you were in charge of having a conversation in which you talk about an argument. Oh my God, I slept? An argument they had with a sibling and how they solved it. You have 2 minutes, similar to the previous exercise. I would like to interrupt you, in case that you haven't finished, and that will be the final part. So I'm going to turn my camera off as well as my microphone. So ladies, Sylvia, don't forget to turn your camera on. Let's begin.
Okay, teacher. Hi, girls. How are you?
Hi, Diana. How are you? So fine. And you?
I'm fine.
Well, I want to tell you about an argument that I had yesterday with my sister.
Oh, really? I always have arguments with my sister too. Even this morning we had an argument and we have not talked since that moment.
What happened, Diana? You are very close to each other. I don't have siblings, but I can hear you. Tell me what happened.
Well, it was a little problem, but what she did was so annoying. She took my new dress and spilled on it paint.
Oh my God. Is it the dress that we bought a week ago?
Yes, it is.
Did you buy it for a special occasion?
Yes, it was for my graduation party. But fortunately, she offers to wash it and now it looks like new.
Oh, that sounds good. I'm glad for you.
If I had been in this situation, I would have told my sister to buy me a new one.
Yes, I thought about asking her to buy me a new dress.
Well, fortunately, she could solve it, and now you are happy again. I'm going to try to solve the problem with my sister too.
That would be nice.
Yeah, it's better that you do things with her sister.
Okay, thank you.
That's it, teacher.
Okay, ladies, thank you. Just a few things. Silvia said spill on my dress would be spill paint on it.
Spill on it.
Mm-hmm. Would be it. In the case, Daniela, you said, I have, or I want the money to knit. I don't really got like that idea. Maybe you were like thinking about like, I need the money too. I wrote it down. I got a little bit confused with that part. And in question number 10, you say, I want the better. Would be actually want the best. You said for my family, for my friends on that part. Okay. And the pronunciation, Diana, of definitely. You said it like definitely or something like that. But that was it. In general, as usual, very good, ladies. Hopefully tomorrow during the weekend, we will upload the grades to the system so you can have the information before we start on Tuesday. That will be the final cycle of B1, okay? Ladies, as usual, thank you very much.
Okay, teacher,
Thank you, teacher.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye, girls.
Bye.
Good evening, ladies. Hi.
Hi, teacher.
I imagine that you are all like far away of your computers and then you listen to us and speaking. I wouldn't blame you, you know. I'm sorry that in this case you are like the last group to be presented that part, but there is someone. Okay. Judy, right? Okay. I was like, oh my God, there is someone waiting in the main call, but it was one from you ladies. Well, as you already know, the first part is the individual part. I'm going to set up the timer so you have 40 seconds to answer the question that is being assigned. Then in case that you take more time, well, I would have to stop you. And then we would, let's say, finally move to the collaborative part. So I'm going to start with Andrea. Let's turn your camera on, please. I see you now. Well, Andrea, I'm going to start with question number 4. What situations make you feel competitive?
Competitive. Where when I play football, I like play football, and I think that in that situation, I can be competitive because we always want to win and score goals. For that situation, I think that I could be competitive. Competitive.
That's the one, Andrea. Okay, good. I want to ask as well question number 10. Are you harsh or lenient?
Think that I am lenient because I think that I'm not a person that that easily could be uh, a like annoying person. I could be uh, but patient. I could be patient, and I can understand the situation that the people sometimes present in his life. So I think that I'm more lenient. Yes.
Okay, Andrea, thank you. Let's move now to Angelica.
Yes, teacher.
Let's turn your camera on.
Oh, I prove just last minute, but in this moment I don't know what happened.
What do you mean? Let me see if se solicitar inicio video. I want to click on that. Maybe something appears on your screen.
Sure. I connect again with my cell phone to turn on my camera.
Okay. I accept it.
Hi, teacher.
Hello. But I don't see you here yet.
Teacher, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't see you.
Recording in progress.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I'm going to turn one of the microphones. I don't know if that's the one that works.
Better teacher.
Perfect, yeah. So don't worry. Well, Angelica, the timer. I'm gonna ask you first question number 5. It says, is it true that money has no impact in our happiness? Why not?
Teacher, I think that it's important. Not the most important, but it's quality in the life that it's maybe change it because for example, if you want to share with your family but you have a lot of them, you need obviously money to move and arrive her house. So it's important for me, yeah, but not the more important.
Okay. And Angelica, I would like to ask you a question that would be number 7. What annoys you or makes you angry?
Many things. But I maybe think that the more important things it's about the mess and dirty things, and also rude people. But I don't. I explained that I hate the rude actions because you don't have a right to be rude with anything. So I don't like that.
Okay, Angelica, thank you very much. And we
Okay.
finished this first part with Judy Lisette. Judy Lisette. Okay, Judy, there you are. Judy, I'm gonna ask you first question number 2. Are you competitive with your siblings? If so, give examples. Well, summarize it in 40 seconds, of course.
Okay, I think no. I only have one brother, and I'm not competitive with him because I try to be an example for him, and no more.
Okay. And to finish this part, I'm gonna ask you question number 6. What things in your life make you feel good?
The most important thing I think is spend time with my family, especially with my grandfather. He's a beautiful person, and I feel very happy with when I share time with him. And sometimes I play softball because I love this sport, and I feel relaxed when I play this sport.
Okay, Judy, thank you very much. Well, ladies, finally, we go to our collaborative part. In this quiz, your conversation is about how our environment impacts our personality. Similar to the previous exercise, you have 2 minutes. In case that Raul, you would take a little bit of extra time, I would have to interrupt you. Okay, so I invite Angelica and Andrea to turn your cameras on. I'm going to turn mine off. Let's start.
Okay, we are going to talk about the influences of the environment in our behavior. The environment in which we grow up can influence our behavior because, for example, if we have aggressive parents, maybe in the future we will be nervous people or anxious people, and it will also be difficult for us to talk with other people. And if you had this problem in your childhood, uh, Andrea, what do you think about this?
I think that it's not just the environment that our parents provide us. I think that the children are being influenced by social networks, and their personality is being affected by that. We know that the children often repeat everything that they see, and that is what is happening now. We can see that our personality is not the same as our parents, and that our children or nephews will not be either because we are influenced by different things around us, and often it is something that we can't control. Your mic
Your
is off.
microphone, Angelica.
Sorry, I speak in with my microphone in mute. So I agree with both opinion indeed. I consider that environment had an important impact on our personality. For example, I remember when I started to study at university and I couldn't accept somebody action that I saw. It was strange for me because I grew up in a conservative family, but with the time it was considered it's converting acceptable. So yeah, I consider that this experience allowed me to open mind and be more tolerant. So summarize, the environment can change our thoughts and life perception.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies. Yeah, actually, it was a really good timing. You know, ladies, pretty good. Just 1 minute thing from Andrea. You said I like play football. I like to play football, but in general, it was pretty good. Well, hopefully tomorrow and on the weekend, we would upload the grades to the academic system, and you have the information before Tuesday, that, as you know, will be the start of our final cycle of B1. Okay? So ladies, thank you very much. and see you next week, hopefully.
Bye, teacher. Have a
Bye.
good
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Angelica. Angelica.
Teacher?
Yeah, Angelica, just like I was telling you guys in the room that, you know, the administrative process that we always have to conduct at the end of each cycle, we have to upload the grades to the academic system. Hopefully, during the weekend, at least on Monday, you would have your grades there, okay?
Okay, thank you, teacher.
That would
Sorry.
be, don't worry, Angelica. Bye.
Bye, teacher.